Translation, it's interesting. Many of us are touched by translation in ways that we don't even think about. I remember when I was at college, at some point I was home visiting my parents, and I thought, well, maybe I should read something. So I picked up War and Peace. Now, this was in English, and I sat down in one particular chair in my parents' house, and I pretty much read the whole thing in a week. But I was able to really enjoy and appreciate the lyrical vision of Tolstoy and his words and his ideas because of translation. There was somebody who understood Russian, who understood the Russian culture, who spent time engaging with that book by Tolstoy and was able to turn it into a book in English that I was able to read and enjoy and really appreciate. And that, of course, is only because of translation. Translation provides the linguistic bridge that connects people, cultures, languages, ideas. Translation, of course, has always been an essential part of the United Nations from the very beginning, and it was indeed an essential part of the League of Nations as well. So translation allows our member states to communicate and operate in a multilingual fashion that supports multilateralism. And that's, of course, we're all here to support the mechanisms that in principle are solving the problems that we as a collective world face. So I also, when I interact with clients, whether it's member states or substantive secretariats, they are well aware how important translation is for them to do their work. They rely on your consistency, how you maintain and update terminology, how you are able to take the work of, say, experts here or a country report and translate into something that they can use, they can understand, they can send to capitals, get guidance, and come back and make decisions collectively. Clients regularly express our appreciation of how the high quality and the timeliness of our documents supports the intergovernmental process. I remember when I came in 2007, so of course at this point I'm practically an eminence grise, but when I came, the focus was very much on quality. At some point there was an emphasis that said, hey, we really need to make sure we get these documents into people's hands on time. This is important so that people can read the document, process the document, and react to it so that when they meet, they're able to make substantive decisions together. So this was a big change, and I commend the fact that we hit 100% issuance of documents. This is a huge thing, and it enhances the quality of your work, because a high-quality document that comes after the meeting or too late for somebody to make a decision, it doesn't matter that it's high quality if it wasn't able to be used. So this combination of quality and timeliness is hugely valuable. I also want to speak a little bit about the importance of summary records and verbatim records. I think we know we here at the UN tend to stay here more than perhaps our clientele. The member states, the delegations, diplomats, and even our colleagues in substantive secretariats tend to move much faster. They turn over, they go, they work on different things. So these summary records, these verbatim records, are really valuable for when people are getting read into their new position. If somebody wants to find out, hey, what happened 3 sessions ago? Why is this still an issue? Why wasn't this resolved? They can go back to those summary records and see that. And I know that sometimes people say, oh, well, now we have a recording of the meeting. I don't know, perhaps other people will have no problem spending 3 hours listening to a recording to sift the wheat from the chaff. I find it difficult, whereas a summary record allows you to look in very short time, very quickly. You can even do word searches and say, okay, I want to know what the Bahamas said. I want to know what Uganda said. You can do that with a document. We're really not in the position to do that very much with verbal records yet. So again, kudos as well to the summary records, people who work with that and verbatim. And then also I want to just give a brief mention of editing. I think that we talk sometimes about the production chain, and that can be a bit, it feels a little bit too industrial in a way. The way I sometimes think about it is I think of it more like a river in a way. Every river has a source. So that source is the author of the document, whether it's a ministry, whether it's somebody else in the secretariat. That document then flows down through editing, through translation, through text processing, through publishing, and ends up the hand of an end user. A well-edited document that's well-written is easier to translate. So in a way, our editors are sort of like you're force multipliers, sort of the shock troops in a way, because you wrestle with the document right at the beginning. Spend time working with the author to make sure that what the meaning they're trying to convey is clear. And of course, as we all know, sometimes the ambiguity is there intentionally. And that's also a different issue. But we really appreciate the work of the editors, and again, a well-edited document, easier to read, easier to translate. So I'd just like to close with thanking the people who worked with me when I did the shadowing program in the service. Thanks also to Michelle and Ann for organizing this for me. It was really valuable for me to spend some time actually watching and seeing how does eLuna work. I've been hearing about GTEx and eLuna for a long time, but to sit there with one of our colleagues who's showing me, and then I do this, and then I do that, very illuminating. Spent some time as well with colleagues talking about revision, somebody talking about summary records. Really, really useful, and I really appreciate the people that I worked with that. I know that my approach can be a little bit rapid-fire questiony, but it really helped illuminate for me some of the dark crannies of this extremely important work. So thank you very much, and again, let's celebrate International Translation Day. Your work is important, it is valued. I know that every time you finish a document, you don't hear somebody saying from the podium, and I'd like to thank the translator for his work or her work on this document. But there is genuine appreciation, and your hard work is noted, and it is valued. So thank you very much, and happy International Translation Day.